All right, everybody, welcome back to Lull Tourneys for the start of our second stream game today. As you've seen, up until just a moment ago, we had STB International crushing their opponents. Urgot needs a nerf, and they're going to be moving on to the next round to face the winner of this next match. It's going to be Protect the Boss versus SKT, SKT T69. I always mix those up.
We'll get it.
Sin, how you doing, man?
Man, that is two
I
casts
know,
in a
it
row.
sort of was on the last stream, and yeah, look,
it's all right.
I've been out of it. I'm sorry.
It's cool.
It's one of those days.
I
All
understand.
right, so we've had these guys a lot in our tournaments, both SKT and Protect the Boss. We've kind of seen their play styles. We've seen what they like to go for. I don't think these bans are really going to be all that.
It's not
targeted,
nothing's out of the world. I mean, these guys are just picking out stuff that they don't like to play against. I mean, we know all these champions seem. I mean, except for the Lysandra. Lysandra's a little bit targeted. I feel
that one
like.
is a little bit weird. I'll grant you.
Everything else feels like a snowball.
Normal.
Yeah, it's kind
Yasuo,
of standard.
Lulu, Kha'Zix taken away for Protect the Boss. Lysandra pick, yeah, okay, that's a little targeted. Lucian and Leona, of course, being the other ban out. So, get rid of those right away. They get immediately, though, into champion selection. First pick Thresh right off the bat, and they immediately answer. Rubber Turtle locking in Morgana pickup, and then they're going to add their bot lane with the Sivir.
Well, I mean, if you're going to first pick Thresh and you haven't banned Morgana, that's a great pick for a support to counter him. She does a great job. Black Shield nullifies 90% of his effectiveness in lane, as well as the ability to pick. You get the Dark Binding. Sorry, I almost forgot that. Dark Binding out there. You can land picks in the middle of any team fight. One person gets caught out, or prior to a team fight, you catch a carry, catch a support. You can jump on them.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty solid pickup nowadays thanks to the changes recently to the Spell Thief's Edge item. It makes Morgana a really, really viable poke support, and against Thresh, he protects with that Black Shield. Although Thresh is never a bad pickup, he gives a lot of mobility to champions that otherwise wouldn't be, and allows for, say for example Jinx, one of the 80 carries that's in the meta pool that just doesn't have a lot of escapes unless she can get a pick or something. So it gives them options in the bot lane, and we'll see what Protect the Boss runs with. So far, they've just opted to lock in the Renekton and the Evelynn, and that's a good lineup as well.
Yeah, Renekton is really, really dominant in the top lane. I mean, even against Trundle, who is his, what people would say is his hard counter, Renekton still does pretty well, especially if you rush to that Ravenous Hydra. Although, and these guys are doing exactly what I was about to say, Ryze has been picked up a lot in the LCS, used to nullify Renekton even harder than Trundle, because building damage on Renekton just means that Ryze can hurt you that much more. So, I mean, it's a good choice going for Ryze to counter Renekton. Right, it looks like SK Telecom T69 has done a really good job picking champions in reaction rather than, they've just done a really good job reacting.
Yeah, they're really playing their opponents well, and it's no surprise. These teams have met each other a couple of times in our tournaments, and they've definitely got a feel for each other's play styles. Hexabus locking in Ryze, as you said, it's a really good pickup against Renekton at just a lot of levels. The double AP works when you have a decent bit of range. And worse, Kha'Zix, of course, locking in Vi. She's still pretty solid pickup, even though she was hit a little bit hard with the nerfs. It doesn't make her completely useless. It just means that you have to make a choice whether you're building damage or tank, and they have those options.
Yeah, and you know what? With Vi and Ryze at the end of the game, you know that Vi is still going to be able to deal out a significant amount of damage based on her kit, as well as probably picking up the Spirit of the Elder Lizard early in the game. Ryze gets extremely powerful at the end of the game, and pretty damn hard to kill. You have his ultimate to give him spell vamp, as well as the items you're going to be building. Generally, you see Glacial Shroud come out, sometimes Rod of Ages, sometimes a Archangel's that turns into a Seraph's for the shield. He's hard to kill, so they're giving themselves a fair bit of tank as well as very powerful endgame.
Absolutely. They're also not going to be let up on, though. Protect the Boss. They opt for an interesting pick in the mid lane. It's a Malzahar, and the AD carry ends up being Tristana. So that's not what I would have expected with the Thresh pickup. Tristana has a lot of mobility built into her kit already, but it does mean they can really pull these out-of-nowhere wombos, because you've seen really good Threshes pulling off a Lantern to Hook combo and trying to completely psych out their opponents. The answer mid lane is going to be that last pickup, though, for SK Telecom T69. Looks like it's going to be Italy.
Okay, because from what I'm seeing,
It looks
I
like
see
a Kog'Maw.
Kog'Maw.
Yeah,
And
they
I'm
were
like,
trolling.
whoa,
I mean, it could have been a mid
Kog'Maw.
lane Rise and, Sivir in the top lane or Kog'Maw, some
Could have
weird
been
comp like
anything.
that. But these teams play pretty standard League of Legends. They don't really deviate from a good meta strategies because they're good at it. They both play a lot together. They both have really, really good experience together, and they jive in these picks. And I like seeing Nidalee more and more in the mid lane because it means that you can zone your opponent really well at the cost of early wave clear. You can get a lot of good damage once you start maxing those spears. They hurt.
I personally love Nidalee in the mid lane. I don't think that she is the absolute most viable champion to pick there, but I mean, she's so good once she hits that level 6, level 7 mark when she can get her spears doing a ton of damage, and she has cat form to roam around the map. You pick up early boots, not even necessarily mobilities or sorcerers. You just get your basic boots, and you can start roaming to the top and bottom. And if you land one good spear on somebody in the top or bottom lane, that's the end of the fight. Yeah, that's done. You can half kill an AD carry with one spear at level 7. So
yeah, SKT has a really nice zone composition too. Despite the Vi, who is very much a hard engaged champion, they have a lot of poke given Sivir, rub a turtle on Morgana. That's kind of a we're gonna catch and stun you and deal damage from afar, and they don't want to get hard engaged on. Whereas their opponents, Protect the Boss, are kind of running a little more hybrid. They have a lot of lockdown. They have we're gonna catch you and kill you, but they have to engage really, really hard. It's gonna be on them to try and make these team fights end a lot quicker. Otherwise, they'll just get poked down by SKT.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been talking a lot about SKT's comp. Looking at Protect the Boss's comp, they have great, I think, synergy in team fights. They're all very, very strong team fight champions. Malzahar does well. Tristana does well when they have frontline champions. And they have that in the case of Eve and Renekton and Thresh. Thresh being so tanky as a support late game with so much CC. Renekton being that monster crocodile in team fights with 3,500 health. He doesn't have a true hard counter on this team. I mean, Ryze is the best thing that they have to stop him. And if Ryze gets picked off, say by an Evelynn and Malzahar ultimate, that could be it. That could be the end of a fight because Renekton will just dive and not care at all. So it's going to be up to SK Telecom to really dictate the pace of these fights, because if Protect the Boss can step up and do what they want to do, I think that we'll see very, very snowballed team fights in their favor.
The longer the fights go, however, though, it's gonna be harder for Protect the Boss to really take those. I think they're gonna be relying very heavily on their jungler to have Evelynn sneak up behind Invisible, speed up, and deliver the hate spikes over and over and over again to try and pick off those kills really early in the game. I predict she's going to be a very, very active counter jungler and try to make Worst Kha'Zix's life a little bit harder.
Yeah, and you know what? With Evelynn is that if she doesn't get snowballing early, we've seen this at the pro level multiple times. Sorry, I have an itch. This is brutal. My nose is itching like crazy.
Oh, dude, I hate when that happens.
It's horrible.
Can't scratch it. Stay on air.
Evelynn is just, if she doesn't get snowballing soon, she loses her effectiveness because she needs to build up that early game damage with the Elder Lizard. Get running. See, now it's contagious.
The moment I thought about it, I was like, oh, now I have to. It's great. Thanks a lot, Sid. Okay.
All right.
Well, that's all the time we got for the pregame
analysis.
We're
going in.
We're already loading up onto the Rift, and it's the time for everybody's favorite part of the tournament. You guys guessed it. Use that hashtag. Bust out the Twitter on your phones. It's time for the Skin War Best War.
Oh, I know this is your favorite, and you know what? I always enjoy being around when you get right down to it. Go for it,
dude. It's just amazing. Well, it's still loading for just a second, so we'll wait until we get onto it. But these teams have a long history of using a good number of skins, and we always get an awesome little screenshot at the end to just take it all home. And let's see who wins this one. Ooh, there's some good picks though. Not as many as I would have liked to see, but they are pretty sweet. Protect the Boss running only the duo skin, Pool Party Renekton, and Overlord Malzahar. We don't get to see Malzahar a lot, so it's nice to see him on a skin as well, and that's one that I had frankly forgotten about. I've seen Jhin a whole bunch of times. I've seen the all the other Prince of Persia variations, and that one was not one I remembered too well. but they're going to lose out to the Quadra skin combination for SK Telecom of Ghost Bride Morgana, Snowstorm Sivir, Triumphant Rise, that's, by the way, what you get for winning one of these tournaments, and Leopard Italy.
And you know what? I absolutely adore the Snowstorm Skiver skin.
I do too, but I can't
skin.
get it anymore. I didn't own Sivir when it came out, and I got it like right after, and then I regretted it.
That sucks, man. No,
I know.
picked
Well,
it up
there's lots of Sivir skins I can never get like packs, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and Overlord Malzahar. It's really funny because I happen to own, like, I think 4 of these champion skins on my account, and they are all my favorite skins for that particular champion. Overlord Malzahar looks wonderful, and his Voidling is fantastic. Little soldier running around. It's great.
Yeah, it's cool how much attention to detail Riot puts in a lot of their skins and the updated visuals these days. I remember when like recolors were really just recolors.
Rusty Blitzcrank.
Yeah, people still rock that. It's like super rare now.
Yeah, it is.
They bought it back from people
really great.
in the day, and I mean, it's almost kind of cool. The splash art still sucks, but it's cool in game. Leopard Italy's also awesome in game. They haven't updated that splash art, but they've updated all the in-game models, which makes it really awesome. I own almost every Nidalee skin. I'm waiting for Headhunter to go on sale.
I don't own Headhunter Nidalee, but I own all the others, and my favorite is Snow Bunny. And I got that when it first came out, and I was super proud for years. And then they re-released the skins, and I was sad.
I mean, I was just happy to get it when it came back out. I didn't have any money back when it was available first time. But all right. So we're loaded up almost 100%. Everybody's reaching about that 90% peak, and everyone's internet a little bit different speeds. It's always going to happen, but we're loaded up onto the Rift. We're ready to go. Sin, take it away. What do you think of these lanes?
Sorry, I was typing over at Coconut in the Twitch chat. With these lanes, I'm excited to see what happens in the bot lane specifically, because we have Thresh, who is an aggressive support, Tristana, who is a passive AD carry, and then we have Morgana, who is a passive support, unless she can land a binding, and Sivir, who is a aggressive AD carry, unless she can't spell shield. So, like, we have sort of two conflicting champions on both sides of the Rift, and I like this invade choice.
Ooh, yeah, this is going to be interesting. I think that it's been a lot more popular lately, thanks to the changes in the trinkets, of course. To really go for these early game aggressive points, you can maybe pick off a champion or two. If not, throw the enemy jungler off, and it looks like there's only going to be 3 on the bottom to guard, and they have no idea this is happening. SKT is going to have to be a little bit careful. Squared going to back away in the middle of the river. I don't think they're going to go for this right now. They don't know where Nidalee and Rise are, and they do want it.
They want it.
They almost catch Sivir, just a bit of a whiff. Silence, though.
They're still going for it, though.
And they catch Slayer's David, so I don't think they'll be able to make anything out of that. Nicely locked up, good response from SKT, and they'll back away safely.
I think that might have been a slight mistake by Thresh to go for the Morgana. If he had aimed his hook just for Sivir, you saw Morgana react. Sivir, on the other hand, didn't even move a muscle until Malzahar had already silenced her. It's
the next level jukes, man. Just like, I'm gonna stand right here. They'll never suspect
they're
I
gonna
won't
think
move into
I'll
it.
move, and I won't move, so they'll miss.
It's really too bad for Cuts of Fit. Is just like, he was so close. He was like one in-game tile away from landing the hook, and we see that happen. That's the most thing about being a Thresh player, is if you can't land those skill shots, everything you do goes to naught. So game will start nice and early, although there's a bit of aggression up in the top lane. Hexabus goes around the unsafe way. Siren Names decides to put a little bit of a hurt on him. Alligator
That's
not
the right play.
Too much.
That is the right play. If you see Rise, if you are sitting in this bush up in the top lane, just in that river, expecting them to come out on that side or into the lane, you see him cut around the, like you said, the unsafe way. Apply as much damage as you can, but there's an aggression in top lane.
Very aggressive early on, and wow, that was a nice use of Ignite early to merely zone Desired Names out of the way, and Rise already taking a nice commanding little presence up there, and the Doran Shield really not doing that much, especially since the nerf. Ooh, down to the bot lane though.
Whoa!
So much aggression on a Dark Binding, and he nearly got off a good pick. Ignite was also burned, and they don't have anything to show for it. But this is exactly where Chingsword wants to be. Zoning from behind, right behind a big minion wave. There's really no way for them to catch him. The Seal has to jump right into him to pick him off like that, and it's such a dangerous thing to do, because if you don't get that kill, Tristana doesn't
You're not
get
getting
the reset.
back out. Oh yeah. So, but I mean, at the same time, Sivir doesn't have Spell Shield yet, so if she gets hooked by a Thresh, she's guaranteed to be taking a lot of damage, and she did, forced to back. Well, we just see the junglers kind of clashing out there. I mean, Evelyn knows where Vi is.
Kha'Zix wants to gank this because Captain Luki is pushed up just a little bit, and Slayer David, though, is also there, and they don't know about this.
This is
to Evelyn being
perfect.
invisible. Oh, wow, the Vault Breaker completely off to the side, and Luki just says, I'm going to dodge around you. That's completely fine. Oh, Slayers catches Kha'Zix in the jungle, and they're going at it.
Yes, they are.
Luki
Malzahar's coming in.
for cleanup
There's the
duty. He
flash.
can't quite get it. Burns the flash, though, of
Man,
Vi.
oh, man.
Kha'Zix is having a little bit of a hard time in the jungle right now, but thanks to all the invade pressure that Slayer's David's been putting on, it's really not that big a deal. They're actually just about dead even jungle-wise, and this is what Protect the Bots is doing, though. They're pushing up really far forward in all their lanes, and that's going to make it hard to gank.
Yeah, and you know what? I was about to mention how Renekton is sort of falling behind a little bit on Ryze here, has pushed all the way up to the turret, is very vulnerable, but Ryze doesn't have any mana, and he's having to use his mana to farm minions because, well, he can't do it with auto attacks. Ryze has notoriously weak auto attacks early on, and it's
They're looking
just
to shut him down really quick, and you can see Slayer David's coming around the side to try and pick him off, but Renekton hasn't
so
let
is
him recall.
Vi.
Oh, wow, the counter.
Evelyn
She doesn't know
didn't
he's
see
there,
her.
though. This could be really bad either way. Slayer David gets locked up. Hexabus, the Ignite goes down. The Tick will take him out. Rune Prison means Slayer's caught right in the middle of a tower shot. Kha'Zix picks up the revenge kill, and it'll be a Vi and an Alligator in the top lane.
I would say that was worth it, though, because they do pick up the first blood, and that gives Renekton a little bit of a break, allows him to catch up in CS, forces Ryze to miss out on stuff, and that...
Here's another roam.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's
Holy.
a bold move to make, and I see the Voidling before it took a couple of
little
shots.
armored guy, look at him.
I mean,
Look
it's
at him
kind
run.
of cute.
It's
Now
wonderful,
it's
I
not
love
so little
it.
anymore.
Yeah, he
That's
gets
kind of
bigger.
terrifying, to be honest with you. Void
Can
stuff
you imagine?
is, Void
Voidling
stuff's
the
kinda
size
creepy.
of a small German Shepherd.
I think that's a Pokemon that looks like that. Oh, it just
True.
died. All right.
It's true, though. Oh,
The
man.
bot lane's actually been one of the more passive, and it's because Cutterfit has not been able to pull a hook off. And as I say it, he proves me wrong. Catch and rub a turtle. Black Shield means, nah, you can't kill me.
Yeah,
they're able
but
to
still
take
putting a
little
lot of
pokes like
damage on
that.
it. They still put down a lot of
they're
damage, though,
definitely
which is great, and that's exactly what they want. Thresh being, well, the threat that he needs to be. Morgana not quite... I mean, you would think with a Spell Shield on Sivir and Black Shield on Morgana, hooks would just be a non-factor in this lane, but Cut to Fit is doing a good job landing these hooks when they can't quite react in time. So
Yeah, so Vi's looking to come around to the bot lane, and they're a little bit exposed. Seal does
In
have
the top
escape, but here's the
lane.
gank in the top. Hexabus taking really low. Slayer
want
wants
it.
to pick this one up.
Oh,
Renekton takes the
Renekton
tower
goes
shots
down.
and goes down to the Ignite in the bot lane. That is a dead Tristana. Nicely
Yeah.
done. Good gank by Kha'Zix, and Cheek Squared picks up his first kill of the game to hopefully start evening out a little bit. He's been way behind in farm. He's had to back way too many times.
yeah, but they are going to go for this dragon here. They realize that the jungler is
And
up
I can
top,
make up for it.
and the bot lane died. You're right. So this
So-
could be huge for them.
Yeah, that's a bit delayed, though, because Cheek Squared stayed around just a little bit longer to try and pick up a bit more farm, but they should be able to take this without contest because the bot lane's nowhere to be found. Evelyn was in the top, and they knew it, and they've also got Nidalee to help clean this up, but Rub a Turtle is really, really low, and you don't want to be tanking this low, and they're only at about level 5 and 6. It's difficult to do, so they're in a vulnerable position for a couple of minutes, but the Global Gold was worth it.
I think so. Nidalee isn't even going to miss too much of this wave in the mid lane, so that's
Yeah,
a good play
she's
by
got-
her to come down and help.
She's got crazy sustainability thanks to her E, and starting out just with the Doran's ring, neither mid laner is actually backed yet to buy, and Luki is actually going for the dive, but Desire Names gets locked a little bit too far forward, gets rune prisoned, and there's half his health gone from a couple of shots. He's got to be really careful. Renekton's not as tanky as he thinks.
Yeah, Renekton has taken too many tower hits in this top lane. That's the number one reason why he's died. Well, he's died once and has been forced to back twice off of tower hits. So it's really going to be. I mean, he looks like he's going for the Spirit Visage. So that's not even going to help him with
it's
towers.
to try to lock him up with Rise, but yeah, there's no armor there for it, and Renekton's going to need it for the later game to deal with Sivir, to deal with Vi. You know, it's a short early game thing, and it's okay, but when you're taking tower shots, it doesn't matter. Mid
And I
lane
think
has
that-
been growing too.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the transition. Have you noticed that there's been a lot more AP mids picked in the top lane recently in the last couple months? I think
It's mostly because they've been seeing LCS players do it. It's been tried out in all the big pro leagues.
that's true, but I think the reason LCS players are starting to do it more often is, well, I mean, Renekton's taking a lot of damage. Sorry,
You saw the result right there. Renekton
that
just
well,
took
that's
a
why.
huge chunk of damage, and it's when you can zone. It's every meta is only as lasting as people don't know how to deal with something better than it or find something better than it. So once somebody figures out how to execute a little bit better, speaking of execution, they're about to execute Exodus up at the top, chasing him away. The
Great
spikes
play.
will finish him off. Slayer David.
Oh, and there's a
nice
hook on
gank.
bot lane. Never mind. Morgana's forced to flash. She gets out.
They disengage that quite nicely. Burn to flash in the process though. And Worst Kha'Zix will give his Nidalee the blue buff.
Yeah, and what I was saying is just that, like, you see these top laners who get to stack armor all day because you see 4 or 5 team compositions that are all AD, and all you have to do is build armor, and that way you can negate towers as well. When you put another AP in the top lane, you force their top laner to build magic resistance, and there's an engagement on
really
bot
far
lane.
in the bot lane. Cut to fit. They're targeting both of them at the same time, and the ultimate from Morgana locks up both the bot laners. They're looking for Cut to fit though, and they kill the Thresh. Jinx squared a little far forward, could go down in this. It looks like it's going to be sealed though. Night Dark binding. They will finish that one off. Just barely have any health left.
I think that was a mistake by Morgana.
To both laners, but Slayer David, he's coming around for it.
Oh, he wants this.
Does he know where Sivir is?
Yes, he does. There's a ward in the other bush.
Oh, they missed it. He's gonna. Oh, if he pops it up. No, he flashes
there
forward.
It is.
Nicely done with the Ravage. Had to burn a flash to secure the kill, but he pulled it off. Well done. Good revenge.
Yeah.
Evelyn has been so active all over the map, and she's got the kills to prove it. 4 and 1.
And that's what they needed. That was the point I was trying to make earlier, is that Evelyn must snowball or she is ineffectual late in the game. She is snowballing, and so as soon as Evelyn gets the chance to go back with some of this gold under her belt, 1,300 sitting there, hasn't even been in the jungle that much, gets to spend some of her conservation stacks now. We're going to see Evelyn come back with probably, we'll see boots and maybe a Giant's belt mixed in. That would be interesting.
And worth noting, neither of the junglers have picked up boots yet because they both have mobility increases. Vi's got the Vault Breaker, and Evelyn with the W speed up. It's kind of nice to see, like, not early boots because they're changing it up for some extra damage. And speaking of extra damage, here comes Worst Kha'Zix to try and pick up the Alligator. Can he do it though? There's the Assault and Battery. Rune Prison will lock him up, but he'll slice the dice back to tower.
No, it was just a little. It was just a little bit of bad positioning by Worst Kha'Zix, allowing Renekton to slice through her person, and then also dice away again.
They're not done yet.
Oh, they come back.
There's a Rune Prison, yeah.
He's too close to that turret.
Finish it up though. Oh, actually, Worst Kha'Zix gets locked up. A bit of a miscommunication. Hexabus wasn't there, and as a result, Worst Kha'Zix is half health, and Malzahar coming around the side, seeing if he can't pick something up.
Well, they want him
still.
Mid laners. Man, oh man, this Renekton. Oh, and Malzahar misses the silence. That's a shame.
Yeah. Now here comes in Slayer David looking for a kill, and Cut to Fit doesn't quite catch anything on the hook. Otherwise, that would have been a definite kill. And here comes Morgana. Rub a Turtle preemptively popping the Black Shield, locks up Cut to Fit. He has almost no tankiness, has to pop his box right away, but all of a sudden, it's a 3v2. Jinx Square gives up the Ghost, and Rub a Turtle's gonna follow.
And that was a great play by Slayer David to come in and flank. Thresh being a little bit more vulnerable and asking, come on, Morgana, come for me, come on, I'm totally ready. And then they were ready, and they killed her.
I mean, that was completely worth, not just because they traded 2 for 1, but they got a double kill onto Tristana, who's already a little bit ahead of Sivir, except for in kills. So now she's definitely taken a bot lane lead. She has pushing power just as much as Sivir does, and they shouldn't have any trouble. Whoa! Desire Names, he's getting a little bit of trouble himself, and he has to flash away, but it's just enough with the Dominus pop.
Oh,
I can't believe it! Oh,
he's so
live the
close!
Lifeguard another day.
Man, oh man, he gets out with 40 health. And you're right,
That's the
Tristana.
Or the Spectre's Cowl.
Yeah, that's the Spectre's Cowl coming into work, giving him that extra health regen. Tristana, like you were saying, is able to push evenly with Sivir, just about, so long as she can stay safe. Sivir can Boomerang Blade and ricochet a wave, and the whole wave will die, whereas Tristana has to kind of stand around and auto-attack a bit. So it's really just going to be about safety, where Tristana and Malzahar get to fight inside their tanky front line, like I was saying in the Champion Select. They're doing a good job so far. I wonder how it will transition into team fights.
Yeah, it's really hard to say because both teams are really just about dead even. The gold lead is almost non-existent, and 6-6 kills, no tower's been taken. It's just been a kind of a slugfest between these teams. Everywhere but the mid lanes really seen a lot of jungle action, and here they go, trying to set up another thing. Vi's coming down, and so is Eve. Here they go, Slayer's David running the outside, but Seal gets locked up. Here's where's Kha'Zix, but there's no friends of hers around there. They could find her, and she's going to have to dash away with the Vault Breaker.
It's a shame. Thresh's death sentence was off by about 2 seconds. He would have been able to... They do kill another ward, though.
Dark Binding, though. Is it worth it? They go on Assault and Battery on to cut to fit, and he's going to melt. But Rubba Turtle gets knocked backwards. Another pickup for the Tristanish. Will she get a double the
fail flash?
Rubba Turtle. Oh, my goodness. He couldn't get out of there, and Jinx Squared is running for his life. Twist Fate coming in for the defense. Now Seal's taken low. A nice Q from the Sivir to level the playing field. Slayer David, though, doesn't care, taking all the damage. Jinx Squared goes down, and now it's only Twist Fate. They pick him up, and they don't lose anybody. That's a big turnaround.
That was a great play by Slayer David. Mid-fight, she turned and sped through the Nidalee so that when the Nidalee jumped forward for the last pounce to kill Evelynn, she went over her instead of onto her, and that was just great micro by Evelynn to stay alive in that fight.
I think Protect the Boss should change their name to Protect Like a Boss, because they really didn't let anyone die there.
Yeah, that was great play. Man, oh man.
Yeah, they're even going to steal a blue buff off of this, possibly. Where's Kha'Zix wants to contest it? Nope, she'll get in there, nice smiting it away, and they still got a great disengage, though. Captain Luki's Malzahar just fantastic at keeping that from happening, and Slayer David's got a speed up, so they're not going to get any kills. Renekton, meanwhile, did push the top tower, so we got that one down, and Desired Names counter-jungling by just a little bit. I gotta say, for Kha'Zix, where's Kha'Zix? He's having a little bit of trouble finding his footing in this game because he's been able to get ganks, but he hasn't been able to farm his jungle in the off time, not nearly as well as Slayer David has.
Right, and you know what? Desired Names is doing what Renekton does best in that top lane, really putting a lot of pressure onto Ryze, who cannot clear waves nearly as fast as Renekton. And Renekton now has the Spirit Visage, which will help him even more against Ryze. I am somewhat surprised Ryze going for a Tear the Goddess, Catalyst, and, well, looks like he wants to go for a Rod of Ages as well, but does not have the Glacial Shroud early.
It's a bit of a late time to be building that. Oh, wow, they really don't want this tower to fall, but it's a little late for that, so cut to fit. Ooh,
wow!
Seal. That's a lot of damage coming out of Sivir and Morgana, but he does have the mobility to escape. But as you were saying, the Rod of Ages is a really good, like, 10-minute item. But at this point, it's kind of hard to justify. So Ryze is set looking at, okay, I want to get bigger and tankier for my team. I need to do this as the top laner. But he's a little bit behind. Yeah, he was doing really good at out farming early. Desired Names has turned this around, especially with the help from Slavid.
Yeah, but you know what? I was going to say, Rod of Ages, if you're getting it at 11, 12 minutes, it means that you are truly rushing for it with no items in between. I can understand Ryze wanting to go for a Tear of the Goddess before he finishes it, allows him to stack that up a little bit quicker. Oh, but he's going to get pincered by Evelynn here.
Yep, no, they're going to find him, man. That's the Ignite already down way early. They knew they could do it. Last tick of the hate spikes. There we go. But there's 4 members of SKT pushing down the line of this mid turret. They want it. Captain Luki, can you defend it? I don't know. Seal and cut to fitter right there, but he was locked up on that. And Rubber Turtle gets caught. Seal gets the kill. Big kill for Tristana, and now it's all of a sudden the siege is reversed. The second tier 2 turret on the top lane is being pushed as well. Slayer David taking shots, and he doesn't care. This is becoming a real problem for SKT. Protect the Boss playing excellent.
Yeah, Protect the Boss doing such a great job in the laning phase. They had they had a mix of late game and early game champions, but they've made it work so well to their advantage. I mean, Evelynn is just out of her mind this game. 6-1-5.
Yeah, wow, they're diving even farther down. Desired Name says, I can take you behind your turret.
Well, wow, he doesn't have any armor.
This is a bit of a problem. Twist Fate, I don't think they even want to go for him. There's so much flanking opportunity here. Here comes Slayer David to try and turn it around. But there's 3 members of SKT there, and they're just going to settle for the escape. Desired Names will take a Lantern to safety.
Good play by Renekton to get out of there. Also, great Lantern from Thresh. But SKT is in a little bit more of a bind than just being down in gold. Their composition requires them to get ahead. They have a lot of poke in Sivir and Nidalee, as well as Ryze. They can't be behind, because if they are behind, they'll just get initiated on, and they'll take too much damage before they can truly disengage. And they can't stop this siege. They can't stop the dive. Evelynn is getting huge. Renekton is getting huge. Even Thresh is getting, I mean, he's he's got the right items to build off of. He's going straight for that. I want to call it Shirelia's, but it's not.
Not anymore. I wish.
What is it called?
It's the amulet. The coin into the amulet of something or other. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it's still Shirelia's Reverie to me.
It's still Shirelia. It forever will be.
This is the thing though that Protect the Boss is doing really well is they're feeding the people that need to get big. The only ones with a kill in the game aside from Malzahar are Tristana and Evelynn, and that's who you need to get big early to start becoming hyper carries. Tristana is sort of the unexpected hyper carry. She doesn't have great scaling abilities. She's an auto attack based champion, but when she gets some attack speed and some damage with an armor pen, she really, really hurts. And she's also got self escape, so she's not like most ADCs. She has a lot of self peel and can get herself out of bad situations, so she doesn't really need protecting. You can protect Malzahar or Evelynn instead. And it's a really good composition for them.
It is true, but you know what? What is the most unexpected about Tristana is that she is the scaling AD carries that over time her range gets longer. Not only does her items build up and she gets stronger in damage and attack speed, whatever you want to build, her range gets longer too. So she can be sort of surprising to other people, not realizing that they're actually in range to Tristana. She is getting caught by this binding here, though.
Yeah, that's
getting
a lot of
damage.
But Best Friend Express comes out. Cut to Fit says, you aren't getting my carry. Meanwhile, up in the top lane, there's a big fight. It's a 3v2, though. SKT could take it, but Twist Fate does not have the sustain to keep those up. Here's Desired Names taking all the damage. Slayer's David gets ignited. He turns right back on around into this. Captain Luki's in there. He ultimates, and there goes Twist Fate. They turn right on around. There's a double kill for Malzahar. Exibus is left running with the Ignite, ticking away at his health bar. Can Slayer's David catch him, though? He's coming all the way around the side. And yet,
I think
I think he can pick this up.
He's got mobility
there he goes.
boots.
He's down.
He's got mobility boots. He should be able to do it. Oh, he just needs
those boots of go extremely fast are helping wide. Oh,
there
the
it is.
Rune
That's all he
Prison,
needed.
but he gets him on the end. That would have been a triple kill, but the time had passed. What a nice pickup for Protect the Boss. Just when it looked bad, he turned it right on around. Captain Luki knows how to roam.
Yeah, and you know what? He's really been showing it with he's been using those mobility boots extremely well, and I mean, with the number of roams he's done, it's a great choice to go for them. He right there gave him enough reason to want to buy them in the future, showing that you can chase people down with it. And
the extended chases, you get out of combat after 5 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It does make him a little bit more. He did get it. Nidalee didn't manage to steal it, and they do take the dragon as well. So that is the second dragon for Protect the Boss. So they've got a huge lead. They've got 8k gold lead right now, and Nidalee is in a not so bad a position. Never mind. I thought Malzahar was going to initiate there.
They haven't really given SKT a chance to pick back up into these objectives, whether it's be towers or whether it be objectives like the Dragon. They've just been controlling the map very well. They have control of the timer now. Twist Fate probably picked up and noted when the time was that last Dragon went down, but they just don't have the map control this side of it. They've lost both. They've lost the bot tower and the top tower. The mid still stands, but it's really, really low, and it's only a matter of time before it gets taken down as well. What they need to do is push back on that mid lane, do a big 5-man siege, because otherwise, SKT is just getting caught out every time.
And Rise is finally getting to the point where he's doing a lot of damage. You saw that fight in the top lane. Renekton and Evelynn, being as fed as they are, should have been able to take a 2v3, but Rise is getting, well, he's getting large. If he gets to a Glacial Shroud, maybe to a Banshee Veil, we're going to see a lot of tank come out of him and a lot of sustained damage over the course of a team fight. So they might actually be able to continue staying in this game so long as Nidalee can keep poking and they can keep disengaging from Renekton and Evelynn.
There's the 5-man siege, though, but it's getting turned around on Slayer's
Oh
David.
my gosh.
Goes on everybody. Rubba Turtle has no health in this. They want to take this all the way. Desire Dames is taking it all. Seal gets another kill. He picks it up. Exibus gets landed on the assault and battery. Comes in on worst Kha'Zix. Desire Dames still tanking. Exibus has almost no health. The jump on Twist Fate goes down. The tower will follow. Rubba Turtle is the only one left alive. Oh, sorry. Worst Kha'Zix is also in there, but they're going to take a second tower. What a masterful engage from Protect the Boss.
I couldn't believe how well both teams, I mean, my brain went, what a great engage, and then it went, what a great disengage, and then Malzahar flashes forward, gets the ultimate off, and locks down Sivir. Did he flash forward?
He got
He may
3
not
turrets,
have.
and they're going to get some more. They
Oh,
find Ching
no,
Squared with
Sever.
the hook. The spell shield didn't come out in time. They
Oh,
clearly
that
did
was-
not expect that one. A little bit over positioning.
They do manage to defend the
Big
inhibitor,
defense.
though, and that's kind of a big deal. That means that they don't have to deal with super minions just yet, but it is now vulnerable. And with the hard engage that we've seen from this, from Protect the Boss, they'll probably just brute force it. And I mean, I like this choice from Evelyn to go for the Sunfire Cape. That extra tank, as well as the extra armor, is just it lets her be on the front line with Renekton. And where she needs to be, really, for hate spikes to be doing the damage they should be.
Yeah, it's
But-
working really, really well, and Renekton has been tanking these shots, and he's not really giving SKT a chance to go back on anybody else. He gets in people's face, and he just says, hey, you have to damage me, otherwise I'm going to tick away at you with Sunfire Cape, I'm going to call the make on everybody, and you can't really deal with that. So Desired Name's doing a fantastic job of tanking. He's built all tank items this entire game. He's got a good chunk of armor, a good chunk of magic resist. He's helping his team control the map, and that was just a fantastic flank that resulted in 3 turrets for Protect the Boss.
I think the biggest part of this game that we haven't really been able to mention as much, because we've been focused on top lane and bot lane, where a lot of the ganks have been, even in the jungle, more than mid lane. But if you look at the scores between these mid laners, oh wait,
Yeah,
hold
look at
on.
Seal chasing. He forces the ultimate out of
Sivir.
Sivir. Wow,
So close.
Seal.
He's just a
getting
monster.
Real ballsy on that Tristana, and it works just fine. So, clearing wards at the Baron Pit. They want to maintain some semblance of the control in this game. They're going to clear a pink ward as well, and that's what you got to do, because if you're behind like this, you cannot possibly
they
give it
caught
up. But where's
Vi.
Kha'Zix gets caught by Malzahar. He's going to go down. Slayer David picks himself up another kill. They're chasing now. Rubber Turtle burns a flash to get out of there. Is it going to be enough? It will when he pops his Frost Queens. That's another reason to have that item. You get a little nice disengage or engage.
Or engage, yeah.
Yeah, so this might be the Baron, though. This is going to be a
I would
5v4
certainly think
situation.
so.
They don't have worse Kha'Zix, so there's no worry about the Smite steal. Hexabus could come in there and deal a little bit of damage. They know this is happening. Lily's going to be spearing people for days, but it's not enough. There's way too much damage for this Protect the Boss team.
Especially now that
He doesn't even
Tristana's here. Yeah, and they don't have worst Kha'Zix to steal this.
They're gonna
And
body
they...
block it.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
Morgana
it got
Tech
stolen
stole
by
it!
a dark binding.
That's
in
in-
a pool.
How-
Wow,
What?
what a good
That's
job by
so-
Rubber Turtle. What timing.
That's incredible. A Morgana tick. That's almost as bad as like a Jana Tornado at lowest rank stealing it. That's such a weak spell
And you know
at
it's
this point in the
Slayer
game.
David actually Smite Vicious that.
I think he did.
He did. That was why
No,
it got to steal. It was like
He
one
didn't even
tick
have
away.
Smite. He didn't even have Smite when Baron was going down.
Oh, he didn't.
Yeah,
Oh.
Oh wow, that
Oh
just
man, so that was a little bit of a cocky move there for Protect the Boss, and they gave their opponent's Baron. By the way, they even gave worst Kha'Zix Baron because he was up by the time that ticked.
Oh man, not to say that they are automatically back in this game, but they definitely got a breath of fresh air, and this might be just what they need to pick themselves off their backs, and maybe be able to, if they properly engage, pick somebody off before a team fight happens. They do have the Baron buff, so that will make up for their item deficit, but it's still over 10,000 gold. They're still going to have to play defensive and hopefully ward a little bit better than they have been.
Well, it's a pretty big deficit to overcome. I mean, there's a 13k gold lead, and you can see the difference in those items, even with the Baron buff. Almost everybody on Protect the Boss is filled out. Yep, there's another kill.
Sivir.
Slayer's David. He roams, he kills.
And
It's
they've caught
really hard to
Vi.
make up for this. Wow, there's a 2v2 in the middle. Worst Kha'Zix tries to Vault Breaker away, and they win these extended fights thanks to the Baron buff, but they're still burning summoners to try and escape. They catch Worst Kha'Zix on a hook. This Black Shield is not enough. There's a box coming down. Can they do it, though? There's only 2 in there. Cut to Fit dancing around those spears. They catch Worst Kha'Zix on another hook. He's going down with an Ignite Tick. Worst Kha'Zix is not quite out of it yet.
Oh,
Actually,
that
now
Evelyn
he is, but
ultimate.
they took out Thresh in the process. It's turned into a really big sloppy team fight. Rubber Turtle locks up Desired Names. The shutdown gold goes on to Rise. This is the time to fight that they needed to take, but unfortunately for SKT, they couldn't capitalize on it, and they might lose Hexabus here too.
Well, Desired Names is coming over the wall to help fight this Rise, who probably could have fought the Evelyn on his own, but he's gonna go down. That did not go as well or as bad as I thought it could have in both
Yeah, that
cases.
was a 3 for 2 altogether. So the Baron buff allowed them to kite a little bit, and they really focused on the squishies. Cut to Fit
They
might
got
be the support,
Tristana.
but they got him. Yeah, they got Tristana too, so that's shutdown gold to pick up. And you got to.
They are going to get this turret though.
Yeah,
I can't
they will
see
have
them
to give that
defending
up for
this.
it. No
Yeah,
way you can do it. Captain Lukey is a little bit too scary at this point. Slayer David coming in around the side too, and Desired Names, he is so tanky at this point. They can't really focus him, but he deals a lot of damage. Nice spear onto Slayer David. Twist Fate looking to push something forward. They have 4 members up. Hexabus is about to respawn, but they have 2 open inhibitors to contend with, and Baron buff won't last forever.
Yeah, and you know what? Right there, there was 3 people taking down that turret, and they stayed after the turret went down. And all 5 members were up for SKT, and they still didn't engage on those 3. That's how scared they are right now of Evelynn and Renekton and Malzahar. They're all so extremely fed that they don't even want to go in 5-on-3 without ultimates. Like, they didn't have Sivir's ultimate, they didn't have Vi ultimate. Rise had just gone down.
They didn't have half their flashes either.
Yeah,
they had to burn him in all these fights.
This game is still looking rough for SKT. They're not out of it yet. They haven't lost an inhibitor. Rise is still getting bigger. He went for that Spirit Visage, which I think is the right play, dealing with Evelynn and Malzahar in the same go. Even a little bit of Renekton. Oh, he's caught Trist here.
Yeah, he's found it. So this is the weakness of a Tristana, but he turns right on around, and there's the ultimate to push him away. Hexabus dealing just as much damage to Seal as he goes back to him. They want this. Oh, didn't quite estimate where he was going with the hook, but there's the jump forward.
Oh, boy.
Seal gets his resets. Another kill for Trist, and it's like they're fighting for kills at this point. You've got Evelynn and Tristana are really close to each other in who's more fed.
Yeah, I gotta lean towards Tristana though, just for the amount of, well, never mind. Just check the current gold totals. Evelynn is neck and, well, Evelynn's up by 20 gold. Good job,
She's
Evelynn.
actually got a full build right now, and Tristana not quite up. She could sell that Doran's, pick herself up a Guardian Angel just in case she goes down and help seal the deal. They're going to push on this inhibitor, though, and there's really nothing that SKT 69 can do about it. Renekton gets in there and distracts. Cut to Fit, gets locked up on Dark Binding, but here's the seal coming in.
So
They're going to find another one. They have to do something. SKT cannot let these inhibitors fall without a fight, but they're already gone, and Desired Names is pushing on forward all the way back to the fountain. First Kha'Zix is taking a ton of damage. Down goes the Bucks. They find themselves another kill on that one. Seal picks it up. This is going to be the end of the game if it turns the right way for Protect the Boss. They're chasing all the way back to Fountain. A double kill for Tristana. Can she get more? Jinx Squared goes down. It's a triple kill. Only Hexabus is left remaining. Got to Fit tanking all the damage. Everybody is low who's still alive, but everybody is still alive for Protect the Boss. It's only Hexabus up. Can he chase this team away from his Nexus?
How is everyone still alive? I don't
can't
understand.
believe it. They really are protecting, and they find Hexabus too. The seal doesn't go down. It's the ace kill. This is going to be the end of the game. Protect the Boss is going to move on to the next round. Wow.
Wow, what a finish. Protect the Boss playing so well in this game. They just showed dominance from start to finish, and I mean, congratulations to them for winning this game. SKT is not an easy team to take down, and they played well. They just fell too far behind. Nidalee could never get off the ground. She made almost no impact in that game. So, wow. I mean, that was...
I'm like holding my breath for that one.
Yeah, that was a great game.
It could have been turned around with the Baron buff. It
Definitely.
Really could. They could have taken a fight. They were down a couple of items, but they could have kited and poked their way to a turret or two, and then maybe gotten a little bit of dragon control back, and then started to even the gold out. It was definitely going to be a climb. But SKT just couldn't quite execute on that. They got picked up a couple of times, had to burn all their ultimates and flashes just to get away from Protect the Boss. And, you know, they just weren't afraid. Protect the Boss was not afraid at all of being caught in any of those engagements. And that's all it was. So it ended that way. And that, you know, you saw the results.
Yeah, so we are trying to get the interview with Protect the Boss now for after this game. But, I mean... I love asking this question. I'm still just processing that game. That was so intense. For 90% of that game, there was non-stop action. I gotta ask, this is my favorite question after a game. Who's your MVP?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Obviously, it's on Protect the Boss. I think it's gonna be Slayer David. He set up so much of the early game
100%.
that led everyone to snowball. The Seal might have gotten 13 kills at the end of it. But all that was really thanks to the extreme roaming potential of that Evelynn and showcasing how powerful an assassin jungler can be.
Yeah, I would definitely give my MVP over to Slayer David. Runner-up would definitely be the Seal. He did exactly what Tristana needs to do at the end of the game. He had the right mentality. Farm, 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 farm. only get kills when he thought he could guarantee them, and just took it to the end. I mean, good job on the seal. Malzahar, I believe Malzahar never died that game. He went 4-0-11. That's a great score for a Malzahar. I mean, usually he dies once or twice in a game, at minimum.
They utilized him really efficiently for the utility that he provides, and that's in the composition that they built. It's becoming more popular to say, oh, we don't need the AP mid to really be the one who deals all the damage. We just need some lockdown potential. This is why Lulu is such a popular pick. She has a lot of CC abilities. Malzahar, the ultimate. It's kind of like a ranged Warwick ult. You don't have to get in people's faces, but you can still lock somebody down, and it worked really well, especially on a Rebel Turtle, who, by the way, just for that Baron steal, I want to give an honorable mention. What a fantastic play to draw the game out.
I thought that was hilarious. I don't think I've ever seen a
Morgana steal?
I've never seen a Morgana steal, not in years, because back when Morgana was played in the mid lane. But like I said, that's on par with a Janna stealing with a tornado. But, I mean, I don't really, I mean, it felt, the score does not show how close that game really was. 31-9 was the final kills, but it felt closer than that for most of the game, and I really want to attribute it to their ability to keep vision in their jungle and keep poking. So I mean, props.
They controlled the map just very, very, very well. SKT did a pretty good job at fighting back as best they could, and it just held for as long as they could, but they couldn't quite measure up to the chase potential that Protect the Boss really delivered, and it was, GG to them because of it. So that's going to be it for us in this game. We'll be kicking it back over to the music for just a moment, taking a quick break. But before we go, I've been getting a lot of requests for shout-outs. So, yes,
go for it.
Really good, Evelyn. Thank you. Or Caitlin earlier. Delicious coconut. Thank you. Delirious coconut. Coconuts are delicious. It made me think of that.
I'd see Delirious coconut.
Delirious. At least we didn't have a typo this time. All right, so that's about it for us, guys. Once again, I'm Pyrotechnics, and he's Sin. We're your casters this game, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks a lot, guys.